Have you ever found yourself scrolling through social media, feeling like everyone else has their life together while you're stuck in the same place? You see friends posting about new jobs, dream vacations, or perfect relationships, and suddenly your own achievements don't seem good enough. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. The truth is, comparing ourselves to others is almost automatic in today's world. But what if I told you that this habit is quietly stealing your happiness, and that you can break free from it? In this video, we'll talk about why we fall into the comparison trap, how it really affects us, and, most importantly, practical steps to finally stop measuring your life by someone else's standards. Comparing ourselves to others is something we all do, even if we don't always realize it. It's actually wired into our brains. Humans have always measured themselves against others to understand where they fit in. Thousands of years ago, this instinct helped us survive in groups and learn from each other. But today, the world is different. We're surrounded by constant updates about everyone else's lives, especially on social media. It's easy to look at someone else's highlight reel and wonder why we aren't further ahead, smarter, richer, or happier. The problem is, what we see is rarely the whole truth. Everyone has their own struggles, doubts, and failures, but most people only share their wins. Understanding why we compare is the first step toward breaking the cycle. Constantly comparing yourself to others can quietly wear you down. Instead of feeling motivated, you start to notice what you lack, not what you have. Over time, this can damage your self-esteem and make you feel like you're never good enough, no matter how much you achieve. You might become stuck, afraid to try new things out of fear you won't measure up. Sometimes, comparison even leads to jealousy or resentment toward people you care about. It's a losing game because there will always be someone who seems more successful, talented, or happier than you. But what you don't see are the struggles behind the scenes. When comparison takes over, it can distract you from your own goals and stop you from appreciating your unique journey. What makes your life meaningful isn't how it looks next to someone else's. It's the path that's uniquely yours. Everyone has a different background, different challenges, and different dreams. Maybe your journey has taken longer, or maybe you've faced setbacks others haven't had to deal with. That doesn't make your story less valuable. It actually makes it richer. Think about people you admire. Their greatest strengths often come from their hardest struggles. When you focus on your own growth and the progress you've made, you start to see how far you've come, instead of how far you have left to go. Your unique path is your strength, not your weakness. By honoring it, you give yourself permission to move forward at your own pace and to celebrate the wins that truly matter to you. Comparison can sneak into your day in ways you might not even notice. Maybe it happens when you're scrolling through your phone and see someone's big announcement, or when you hear a friend talking about their latest success. It might show up at work, at the gym, or even just walking down the street. Sometimes, it's subtle, like feeling a little worse after seeing someone else's progress, or second-guessing your choices because they don't look like everyone else's. These are comparison traps, moments that quietly pull your focus away from your own path. The first step to breaking free is simply noticing when and where these thoughts pop up. The more aware you become of these traps, the easier it is to shift your attention back to your own growth and happiness. The first practical step to stop comparing yourself to others is developing awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts and emotions, especially when you start to feel discouraged, envious, or frustrated after seeing what others are doing. Instead of letting these feelings pass by unnoticed, pause and ask yourself, am I comparing myself right now? Try to identify the triggers. Maybe it's social media, certain conversations, or even specific people. You can even keep a small journal and jot down when these moments happen and how they make you feel. The goal isn't to judge yourself, but to simply notice the pattern. With practice, you'll start catching these thoughts earlier. That awareness gives you the power to choose a different response instead of automatically falling into the comparison trap. Once you recognize when you're comparing yourself to others, the next step is to gently redirect your focus back to your own journey. Remind yourself that your goals, values, and dreams are unique, and that your timeline doesn't have to match anyone else's. When you notice yourself getting caught up in someone else's achievements, ask, what am I working toward right now? Or, what progress have I made that I'm proud of? You can even make a habit of celebrating small wins, no matter how minor they seem. The more you focus on your own growth and the steps you're taking, the less power comparison has over you. By turning your attention inward, you'll find more motivation and satisfaction in your own progress, instead of chasing someone else's version of success. Practicing gratitude for your own journey can make a huge difference. Instead of looking at what you don't have, start noticing what you do. Take a moment each day to reflect on things you're thankful for, your skills, opportunities, experiences, and even your setbacks, because they've taught you something valuable. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, helping you see the richness of your own life. You might write down 3 things you appreciate about yourself or your progress at the end of each day. Over time, this habit makes it easier to value your unique story, rather than wishing you had someone else's. When you focus on gratitude, comparison loses its grip, and you become more content with where you are and hopeful about where you're headed. Not all comparison is bad. It can actually be a source of motivation if you approach it the right way. Instead of letting someone else's success make you feel inadequate, try to see it as inspiration. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this person? Or, is there a positive habit or mindset they use that I could try? The key is to avoid harsh self-criticism and focus on self-improvement. Let other people's achievements show you what's possible, not what you're missing. Use comparison as a tool to set new goals for yourself, but always filter it through your own values and priorities. When you turn envy into curiosity, you can grow without losing confidence. Remember, your only real competition is the person you were yesterday. It's important to remember that the images and stories we see from others are never the whole picture. Social media, in particular, only shows the highlights, rarely the tough days, disappointments, or personal struggles that everyone goes through. Even the people you admire most have insecurities and setbacks you'll never see. Instead of assuming that others have it all figured out, recognize that everyone is facing their own challenges behind the scenes. Building true self-acceptance means understanding that perfection is an illusion. When you start to look beyond the surface and accept that ups and downs are a normal part of every journey, you become more compassionate toward yourself and others. This shift in perspective helps you stop comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. In the end, the only person you truly need to measure yourself against is who you were yesterday. Progress isn't always fast or obvious, but every small step forward counts. By focusing on your own growth, practicing gratitude, and using comparison as a tool for inspiration, not discouragement, you'll find more happiness and self-confidence. Remember, everyone's journey is different, and there's no single path to success. Stop chasing someone else's story and start celebrating your own. You have your own pace, your own dreams, and your own strengths. That's what makes your journey meaningful, so honor it every day.